Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the most complete spoken English course on YouTube, where you learn English without boring grammar, without textbooks, and without stress. Here, you learn by listening to real-life stories and answering simple questions that will boost your fluency. Today's story is called, I Got Suspended for Fighting. Let's begin. It all started on a rainy Thursday morning. Jason was walking into school with his hoodie pulled tightly over his head. He hated the rain. His socks were already wet, and his backpack felt heavier than usual. But what really made him miserable was knowing he had PE first period. He didn't enjoy PE, not because he didn't like sports, but because of one person, Marcus. Marcus was a troublemaker, loud, aggressive, and always trying to be funny at someone else's expense. And lately, he had chosen Jason as his favorite target. Every day in PE, Marcus would trip him, bump into him by accident, or call him names under his breath when the teacher wasn't looking. Jason tried to ignore it. His parents always told him, be the bigger person. So, he stayed quiet. But that Thursday, something changed. They were playing basketball. Jason loved basketball. It was one of the few times he could forget everything else and just focus. He was playing well, making shots, even smiling for the first time that morning. Then, Marcus came up behind him and shoved him hard. Jason fell forward, hit the gym floor with his hands, and scraped his elbow. Everyone laughed, even the teacher, who thought it was an accident. Jason's face turned red. His heart started pounding in his chest like a drum. He got up, walked over to Marcus, and said, "Why do you always do that?" Marcus smirked. "Relax, bro. It was just a joke." But Jason didn't feel like laughing. He pushed Marcus back. Marcus pushed harder, and before either of them knew it, fists were flying. Students started yelling. The teacher ran over and blew the whistle, screaming, "Stop!" It all happened so fast. Jason felt like he was outside of his body, watching himself throw punches. It only lasted a few seconds. But that was enough. They were both taken to the principal's office. Jason sat in the chair, his hands shaking. Marcus had a small cut on his lip. Jason's knuckles were red. The principal looked at them both. "I'm very disappointed," she said. "Fighting is never the answer." Jason tried to explain. "I didn't start it. He pushed me." Marcus didn't say anything. The principal sighed. "You're both suspended for 3 days." Jason felt like the world had collapsed. He walked home in the rain, the same hoodie over his head, but now for a different reason. Shame. His mom was shocked. "Jason, fighting? That's not like you." He explained everything. The bullying, the shove, the anger. She listened carefully. "I understand why you were angry," she said, "but violence only makes things worse." During the 3 days at home, Jason had time to think. He missed school, but more than that, he missed his own sense of pride. He had stood up for himself, but at what cost? When he returned to school, Marcus avoided him. No more pushing, no more jokes. But things weren't the same. Teachers watched him more closely. Some students whispered behind his back. It took time, but Jason eventually rebuilt his image. He joined the student council, focused on his grades, and became a peer mediator, someone who helped resolve conflicts peacefully. He never got in another fight. And whenever someone asked about that day, he said, "I don't regret standing up for myself, but I do regret how I did it." Now it's time for your quiz. Let's test how much you understood from the story. Remember, answer out loud, and you have 5 seconds to respond after each question. Ready? Let's go. Why was Jason unhappy that morning? Because it was raining, his socks were wet, and he had PE with Marcus. Who was Marcus, and how did he treat Jason? Marcus was a classmate who bullied Jason during PE by pushing him and calling him names. What happened during the basketball game? Marcus shoved Jason, who then got angry and pushed back. They started fighting. How did the teacher react to the fight? The teacher blew the whistle and yelled at them to stop. Where were Jason and Marcus taken after the fight? They were taken to the principal's office. What punishment did they receive? They were both suspended for 3 days. How did Jason feel after getting suspended? He felt ashamed and disappointed in himself. What did Jason do during his suspension? He stayed home, thought about his actions, and talked to his mom about what happened. How did Jason change after returning to school? He became more focused, joined student council, and worked as a peer mediator. What did Jason say when asked about the fight later on? He said he didn't regret standing up for himself, but he regretted how he did it. Great job. Even if you didn't get all the answers, remember, the goal is to practice speaking and listening. Now let's go over some vocabulary from today's story. Let's take a closer look at some key words and expressions from the story. Hoodie, a sweatshirt with a hood. Example, he wore a hoodie to stay dry in the rain. Smirked, a small, often disrespectful smile. Example, she smirked when she thought she won. Shoved, pushed someone roughly. Example, he shoved his friend during the argument. Whistle, a loud sound used by coaches or teachers to get attention. Example, the referee blew the whistle to stop the game. Suspended, temporarily removed from school as a punishment. Example, he was suspended for fighting. Pride, a feeling of self-respect or personal worth. Example, she felt pride when she finished her project. Peer mediator, a student trained to help others resolve conflicts. Example, as a peer mediator, he helped students talk through problems. Conflict, a disagreement or argument. Example, there was a conflict between two classmates. Shame, a painful feeling after doing something wrong. Example, he felt shame after lying to his parents. Resolve, to find a solution to a problem. Example, they resolved their argument with help from a teacher. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. You are doing something amazing by learning English with stories. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends so more people can enjoy these stories and learn English the easy way. This is Docentes DigitalesTV, where you learn to speak English fast, easy, and with confidence. See you in the next video.